Hello. Just making sure I'm loud enough. Probably not. Move. Move it just a bit closer. In case I start mumbling to myself and I'm too quiet. Wonderful. Happy April Fool's Day. I've already seen some people falling for some to me, very obvious jokes. But hey, no one knows everything. Just to refresh, we're doing critical thinking today. No Baldur's Gate today. I need more room for the mouse. Refresh. Thinking before we share. So for today, we'll make it a bit different. So it's think before you react, potentially. So in these questions, the biggest one that we're going to change, when was it posted? Add to that, was it posted on April Fool's Day? Today. Could it be a joke? Is another question we'll add. I just kicked the desk, so I apologize if you heard that. Because I have once again reset my Instagram algorithm. And the first thing that came up on my feed was this. Now, I'm a huge fan of the 1999 Brendan Fraser vehicle, The Mummy. And so I'm devastated. Devastated by this. If it's true. So what do you think we should do? Should we go to the comments and go, oh my god, oh my god? Or stop for a minute. Go to Google. Because, like, it could be true. These things happen. Well, I think that's his actual Instagram page. We'll open that. If I type in Mummy 4. And then, as always, because I'm not having it. So this is from yesterday. I don't really recognize the website, but hey, we shall see. So, that's then something else. Okay, let's check his Instagram. Because surely he would have made a statement. No. Let's read the full post. Developing. Universal confirms that in The Mummy 4, Rick O'Connell will now be played by Kevin Hart. Studios say that they're going for shorter, faster, louder reboot. I don't necessarily believe that myself. Yeah. It's an April Fool's joke. But we didn't find necessarily proof that it isn't true. So that's from yesterday, saying that he's back in it. Familiar faces. Yeah. So just to double check, we'll type in this Universal. Yeah, I don't even know if they're making The Mummy 4. Ah, they are. That's according to Facebook, though. So, yeah, it's Universal. They've not made an official announcement. So I'm gonna go ahead. Let's go through it. Main point is to be a joke because it's April Fool's Day. Who posted it? A meme page. Is it AI? No, it's Photoshop, but not. When was it posted? April Fool's Day. The context changed since it was posted. No, but the context is April Fool's Day. There was no accurate evidence. They're not trying to sell something. It's rage bait because it's April Fool's Day. And is it useful? It's not useful in our search for the truth. No. But this is a fine example of the things we come across on a day like today. But just because it's April Fool's Day doesn't mean that people still don't fall for things that are completely fake. Because they absolutely do. Especially with how difficult AI is to spot now. Now let's do something bold. because I have reset my Instagram algorithm. Let's search for. What was the last thing I searched? Let me double check what the last thing I searched for on Instagram was. Because I'm not that fresh to Twitch to be searching. Oh no, that's fine. Let's search. Yeah, I was like April Fools. Let's see if anything comes up. I don't think anything will, but that was before I reset my algorithm. These are from last year. Let's have a look. At the best ones from last year, just because we can't find any now. Dubai beans. Like that's quite clearly AI. At least to me. That's definitely AI. But some people really don't know the difference, which is totally fine. This is what we're here to learn. I will recommend in the chat, I'm going to type the name of an account that I follow. I'm going to type it on my phone. If you're not quite sure if something is AI, there's a account I follow on Instagram that is outstanding at trying to find these things. What are their name? Because it is really difficult. This one guy is like entire full-time job. Yeah. Jeremy finds AI. I'm going to copy his. I'm going to get the link to his Instagram page. I don't use TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, good for you, but my brain can't handle it. Share to. I feel like such a boomer at the minute. Yeah. Okay. It's not letting me do it, which is fine. I'll just type the at. There we are. All right. Now, before we did this before, I just searched conspiracy and so will come up. So we'll do that again. I did with the, if I can spell, conspiracy. Because we'll add in, is this conspiracy? Is some of these AI? Are some of these April Fools? Yes. Let's see if I can filter out when they were posted. I do apologize for the incredibly anti-Semitic meme that's there. It's you can't search conspiracy theories without something like that coming up. So let's get into it. Okay, audio's not.
Theories floating around TikTok this week. They're pretty wild, so sit down, get a drink, and take a minute. Number 1, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez had a baby. They were given the option of sacrificing Selena or sacrificing the baby. They chose to sacrifice Selena. The baby was given to Kourtney Kardashian, and it is now affectionately known as Rain. Selena Gomez did die, and the person who is walking around as Selena Gomez is not Selena Gomez. That's all the information I have. I'm sure there's a lot more. Go down that rabbit hole. Number 2, a lot of people in Hollywood and politics have been involved in some sort of cannibalism. This week we've called out Ellen DeGeneres. Now, I asked ChatGPT to confirm if that was in the Epstein files. They said they cannot confirm, but this has been going like all over the internet. So again, do your research. Number 3, remember when the aliens landed at the Miami Mall and there was like 1,000 cops that showed up and then we kind of like never heard about it again?
Aliens? I gotta drop the gun a bit. Aliens at the Miami Mall? Like, what? What? Okay. Aliens, Miami Mall. There's so many insane things in that already. Okay. Yes, that's fine. Alien speculation engulfs Miami Mall after curious New Year's Day video. Large fight caused chaos within a Miami Mall on New Year's Day. Let's watch the video.
Esta es una llamada a todas las unidades de la ciudad de Miami. Esto es en Bayside ahora. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? 9:35 de la noche de hoy, 1 de enero, frente a Bayside. No sabemos qué está pasando.
This was out in my headphones, so I apologize if that was like super loud.
Bueno, para que sean testigos de cuando se produce una llamada a todas las unidades.
So where are the aliens meant to be? As I've not seen an alien.
Y las que vienen en camino.
Okay.
We've never seen in sort of 60 years.
No, thank you. So, I didn't see any aliens. So, a viral video showing, I don't care about snow, showing heavy police presence around Bayside Marketplace in Miami on New Year's Day of 2024, made many speculate that aliens had visited the mall to ring in 2024. But what really caused the commotion? Police confirmed that they were there to dissolve a large fight that broke out between a group of 50 teenagers, which resulted in multiple arrests. Yet some people had their own theories and posted on social media days after the incident, suggesting what really was going on to attract all that blue lights. So aliens. I don't know how you would jump from a large police presence to aliens. Also, in Florida, it's something called the Sunshine Laws. Take out the A. Yeah. Yes. So I'm just gonna pull up Wikipedia because they're putting it in a pretty standard way. All meetings of any state, county, or municipal board or commission in Florida to be open to the public. And I think that also applies to police, but we'll double check. Declares all action taken at closed meetings are not binding. Open to the entire decision-making process by enactment of the Sunshine Law. According to the Act, for the purposes. Because I think it's. Because that's with the government. So, for example, after an incident like this, if aliens were to genuinely turn up, if there were any state, county, or municipal meetings about these aliens in Miami, the information will be readily available. But there's exemptions, as it says. So if, for example, it was the CIA turn up or the FBI, most likely it's not there. But it's the reason why all the Florida Man memes exist. So, Florida is quite transparent with these types of things. So if aliens genuinely did land, they would be a paper trail. And like they made a statement themselves saying nothing's being withheld from the public. Lol. Not entirely professional. The low quality clip appears to show a tall glowing figure near police vehicles. Although other users on X pointed out that it's most likely to be in fact 2 to 3 people walking next to each other. Yeah, I didn't see any aliens. I did look. So that's the least insane thing that lady was saying in her video. I can't remember what else she said. I think I blacked out. Anyway, let's go back.
Well, supposedly the coordinates of the Miami Mall are like some sort of reverse order, a tiny bit off from the coordinates of Antarctica. It is widely conspiracy theorized that Antarctica is where you can get away from the simulation that is Earth, and or where we keep and talk with extraterrestrials and aliens. So they landed at the Miami Mall by accident. They clearly should have been in Antarctica. Number 4, the day that Charlie Kirk died, a suspicious amount of young men were wearing maroon shirts on the UVU campus. Now, maroon is not a part of their campus colors. So what does that mean? Well, in the Epstein files, there is colors listed for special operation forces, meaning that the people who are part of a special operations force wear a certain color during that ops that they know like who's in on the op, okay? There are colors listed in the Epstein files, and there is one day where the color is redacted. That day is the day that Charlie Kirk died. And last but certainly not least, the government has the technology to know what we are thinking in our minds and serve us the ads and or information that we are thinking. I think a lot of us have like seen this and it's like really creepy, but someone said that it's like confirmed in some sort of way that they know what we're thinking. They serve us these ads again. And here's the creepiest part. They control what we do and don't see and our emotional reactions to them.
I think I'm gonna have to slow this one down because like I don't what? What is she saying? It's just so many things at once. So yeah, I'm gonna pause it there for that one. And we'll start with I think the insane thing she said that was it Selena Gomez died? I'm not looking into any of that. I'm not looking into babies dying. Because no, it's just insane. And I'm not Googling a Kardashian because then my old algorithm will be fucked. No, I'm sorry to swear. So, Miami coordinates in Antarctica is what I'm going to look up. Jason, Antarctica, AI. I misspelled Antarctica, I do apologize. Okay, just because you can reverse something. Okay, and you've reversed them. I don't understand why that's a big deal. If you add them all together, that number must mean something insane. Let's see, let's do it. No. gonna do that because then someone might genuinely think it's true. This is okay. I don't understand why you're assuming that aliens made the mistake because you're assuming that aliens landed. I'd love it if aliens did land, but unfortunately, this is just not it. And okay, and I just don't see what the point is. I don't really get it, like why that's such a big deal. And is Antarctica where we go to escape the simulation? Is what I'm gonna Google. Where we escape the simulation. Say hi. I think I'm going to start a little bingo chart with either the free space is anti-Semitism, because it's always going to be there, and flat Earth. Because I was like, okay, I had a feeling this would come up. I'm not clicking on that. Not clicking on this. Because I know there have been genuine scientific experiments trying to test if we are in a simulation or not, which are ongoing. They certainly have nothing to do with Antarctica. I've also heard, I'm not going to say another crazy conspiracy theory because that's not what we're here for. Can we escape the simulation? This is just insane. So no, I can't find any robust evidence that Antarctica is where we go to escape the simulation and talk to aliens. And let's see. Is the color maroon? I can't type in the Epstein files. Why did I say hi? Are colors mentioned? I'm gonna say no, that colors are not mentioned in the Epstein files, based upon the very legitimate outlets that are just not mentioned in it. Doesn't mean that it's not true. From what I do know about the Epstein files is that there are lots of them with lots of redactions. So yeah, there could be, but like, how do you know these men were wearing maroon? Do you have a picture that's not AI generated? Do you have witnesses who they go, yeah, I saw loads of people wear maroon? Like, until you have that to back up this claim, this insane. And then also, what? I can't remember what she said was the point of why maroon was important, because it's just insanity. But okay. I didn't realize I typed 2 S's in my conspiracy theories. And I'm just going to jump ahead. This was posted in February. So this is not a... Because I kind of was like, oh, this is supposed to be a really funny April Fool's Day joke. No.
There is a conspiracy theory going around that is why there has not been a larger emotional reaction to the Epstein files, because they are purposely suppressing it in our brains because of these waves. So, if you're wondering how not to spiral, whether you should believe all this, don't listen to me. I believe some of them, not all of them. Certainly do your research. That's just what I heard. Here are the conspiracy theories floating around TikTok.
when people are encouraged to do research, the difficulty is, if I took out AI, some things that come up are just insane, or just what people have been searching. The more you search for something, the more it's going to infect the AI. And a lot of people don't know the basics on how to search something, the basics of what we have here, of what to look for to make sure that something's real or not. You can easily, as we searched for whichever one it was, is Antarctica where you escape the simulation. You can find stuff that will call confirmation bias, agree with you, as unhinged and unconfirmed, and then off you go. That doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it, okay, you've done research, but you've not done effective research. I don't even know half of the cannibalism one. Since this was posted, there have been more people saying that they found it in the Epstein files. Again, though, there's no official, like, yes, we've discovered this. At the same time, it is also, that is true, they are trying their best to suppress them and redact the information. It's not good, I think, for any government, for people to have files that say that some people have been eating babies. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. We're going to move on from that. I'm going to find a light-hearted one. I'm going to do some research on my... I'm going to move away from the anti-Semitic one there. Because that's not cool. I'm going to look up something fun. There's April Fool's Day that I saw earlier on my phone. So, bear with me while I do that. We can have something from Bob's Burgers. Oh, it's fun. Because I feel like we need to have a bit of a after that, because that was not only was she talking really fast, but that kind of hurt my head with all the insane things she was saying. Going to look. Yeah, like the difficulty is trying to find something like chill, like not awful. That's also like kind of like a joke. In today's age, no one takes anything lightly now. It used to be the other way. No one took the internet seriously. Now one takes it a bit too seriously. No, the things I've seen that are lighthearted are, you know what we'll do in between these? We'll take a theorists. We'll watch a cat video. Cat videos daily. Let's have a look. Let's have a watch of this cat. I don't particularly care for that music, but oh, look at those cats. Look at them having fun. Alright, let's get to back to the conspiracy theorists. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you?
Yeah. Let's do this one.
Ah, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist. But did you know that that term was actually popularized and weaponized by the CIA? They used this psychological warfare term due to fear that if the public did their own research beyond official narratives, that they would no longer trust the institutions. So the people that did question the official narratives were then called insane, crazy conspiracy theorists. A little backstory on that. When JFK was assassinated, the committee that was put together in order to investigate his murder was called the Warren Commission. This commission then produced the Warren Report 10 months later, which was their finalized account of JFK's murder investigation. Immediately after its 1964 release, people were critical of the report. This is where the magic bullet theory came from. People poked many holes in the official narrative, and a lot of people concluded that intelligence agencies had to have been involved. So, in 1967, a document was produced by the CIA titled Countering Criticism of the Warren Report. This document outlined official strategies to discredit and delegitimize critics of the official narrative surrounding JFK's assassination. The document instructed agency operatives to use media contacts and propaganda assets to discredit and counter anyone who questioned the Warren Commission. Something to note, the CIA's Operation Mockingbird was an op in which they recruited journalists, media outlets, and public figures so that they could shape public opinion. It was called a conspiracy until it was declassified in the 1970s. It was under Project Mockingbird that the CIA recruited people to spread propaganda about those who questioned the Warren Commission. Now, something interesting about Project Mockingbird, so a lot of our modern media figures have ties to Operation Mockingbird. Most notably, Tucker Carlson. He applied to the CIA, right? He got rejected, so then he pursued journalism. His dad was a leading voice under Operation Mockingbird during the Cold War. He headed a media company called Voice of America, which worked in conjunction with intel agencies to spread propaganda. Tucker was denied entry to the CIA, but then became one of the biggest media moguls ever. The Murdoch family, which employed Tucker at Fox, also has extensive ties to intelligence and Operation Mockingbird. Also, Tucker's son, Buckley Carlson, is the press secretary for J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, who has direct ties to Palantir, which is the CIA. Ah, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Okay. When was the term conspiracy theorist first used? Wonderful minus AI. Oh. So this is from the European Parliament. Let's have a click. Let's have a click of that. Compared to the other sources we've got here, I'm gonna go with the European Parliament. Let's zoom in. Right. So here it is. Contrary. Let's read the whole paragraph. And to be clear, this is about narratives on steroids, where they are, for some reason, defined in a conspiracy theory. Good for them. The Oxford English Dictionary, OED, defines the term conspiracy theory as the theory that an event or phenomenon occurs as a result of a conspiracy between interested parties. Specifically, a belief that some covert but influential agency, typically political motivation and oppressive intent, is responsible for an unexplained event. Contrary to the widespread claim among conspiracy theorists that the CIA created the label conspiracy theory, in the 1960s to describe those who questioned the official US narrative, the OED dates the earliest example of written use of the term back to 1909. Conspiracy theories can be narrated not only by social actors but also by governments and extremist groups who can use them as propaganda/disinformation tool to mobilize opinions and attitudes with the aim of creating competing narratives that undermine trust in authorities, democratic institutions, and mainstream media. So that's a big one. I'm keeping this. I'm gonna save this because this is very useful. So, let's check the other fact checking things that we know how to do. Snopes. When was the... No, thank you. Theorist coin. Oh. Oh. So they have said it's false. So, no. Let's read those two. Why? In short, scouring dictionaries and newspaper archives, we found evidence of the phrase frequently appearing in British, Australian, and US newspapers from the 1860s onwards. For instance, here's an excerpt from an article of Queen Victoria, published by the Sydney Mail on December 12, 1868. But Queen Victoria is a woman of strong common sense, molded by able constitutional instructors into the form which this generation has properly grown to think essential in a legitimate monarch. You know, that's a lot of words. She may seem to award to her present premier a degree of favour, which, considering how direct and plain her dealings have ever been, appears to denote her sympathy with his policy, but she surely comprehends that his conspiracy theory is a mere party battle horse for which she need not find stable room. Okay. So yeah, conspiracy theory has been around for quite some time. And this goes on to list more examples of how the CIA certainly didn't coin it. Now, Project Mockingbird is something that's been confirmed by the CIA. They've released, they've unclassified things. Does the CIA have a podcast? Mockingbird. Oh. Minus AI. Minus AI. Gross. So yeah, there's lots of information about Project Mockingbird. It is very, very big, and I am not gonna go deep into it. But yeah, no, there's some legitimacy to what she said. But conspiracy theorist and theories is not going for the CIA. What else did she say?
But did you know that that term was actually popularized and weaponized by the CIA? They use this psychological warfare term.
Ah, she said popularized and weaponized. Okay. But as we see in these examples from Snopes, here's another one. About the American Civil War. Yeah, so people have been weaponizing conspiracy theory for hundreds of years. Because there's several examples here. I think she's also confusing this with COINTELPRO.
Due to fear that if the public did their own research beyond official narratives, that they would no longer trust the institutions. So the people that did question the official narratives were then called insane, crazy conspiracy theorists. A little backstory on that. When JFK was assassinated, the committee that was put together in order to investigate his murder was called the Warren Commission. This commission then produced the Warren Report 10 months later, which was their finalized account of JFK's murder investigation. Immediately after its 1964 release, people were critical of the report. This is where the magic bullet theory came from. People poked many holes in the official narrative, and a lot of people concluded that intelligence agencies had to have been involved. So in 1967, a document was produced by the...
Those files have been declassified, and it is very muddy, so I would recommend learning how to research things on your own effectively and then look it up. But yeah, no, I'm there's too many things in there for my brain. Let's go find something else. Oh god. And there's another one that's anti-Semitic. We'll scroll past that.
Hey, when did the Rothschilds come to America? Officially, they really started making noise about 1837. That was our first big crash. And what about after that? When they got here, what did they start doing? Businesses, infrastructure, railroads were big for them, and they would eventually start doing business with the mortgage, J.P. Morgan. Okay, so like, at what point did they like grab our country by the balls? Well, that would be about 1895, 1896-ish. That's when J.P. Morgan and the Rothschilds bailed out the entire country of America because we're running out of gold. And so they said, hey, we have $45 million worth of gold. Want it? I imagine there was a little bit.
So the Rothschilds conspiracy theory is just because they're Jewish. It's nothing more than that. If I were to say J.P. Morgan and their family are Welsh, and Welsh people have run a leak-fueled cabal to destroy the world, I can. But it's not anti-Semitic. Just because the Rothschilds are Jewish doesn't mean that they secretly run in the world. Hot take. Jewish people and people who have connections to Judaism are not running the world. There we are. I'm not going to fact check that because that's just simply a fact. Let's keep going. Let's go look at a cat video. Cat video. Oh, you know, it's because the keyboard is off center. Oh, I love the orange cats.
I was relieved that it was just a babby. That's when I takes closer look and realize, fat babby.
No.
I was.
Oh, that's cheered me up. Let's try this one.
Pigeons are birds.
They're government drones.
You're delusional. You live inside a world in your head.
And you walk through life with your eyes closed.
Oh, okay, so then what are squirrels really up to?
Population control and political destabilization.
What? I can't. You're so fucking stupid.
You guys talking about pigeons?
Yeah, this idiot thinks they're real birds.
This
idiot thinks they're government drones.
What if I told you you're both idiots?
Oh, what? You think they're not government drones?
No, they are government drones.
Told you. You guys are missing the real conspiracy.
Which is? Why have you never seen them charging?
The real conspiracy is the government has already figured out infinite energy. Think about it. How could a flying drone with a camera and a listening device never charge?
Holy
because it has an infinite power source. The government already figured infinite energy out.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Well, what if they charge when they're on the power lines?
that's ludicrous.
That's ridiculous.
What? Why? You guys are saying crazy shit. Why can't I? So then what are they doing when they're standing on the electrical lines if not charging?
I don't know. Bird things. They're just being birds.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Pigeons are birds.
They're government drones.
You're delusional.
Oh, that's nice. All right. So, let's half of these things. Oh, Arkham's Razor. I can't spell. And I've been thinking about Arkham Asylums. Don't judge me. Hi. I'm gonna say I. Something called Occam's Razor, right? Someone from the 14th century. Look at him. Look at him with his bowl cut. So, essentially... Where is it? Ah, okay, so that's just a really fancy way of saying. This is what it says. Occam's Razor is a principle often attributed to 14th century friar William of Ockham that says if you were to have two competing ideas to explain the same phenomenon, you should prefer the simpler one. Simply put, it's the more simple answers. Here's another way of explaining it. When you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. So, like, are the pigeons birds? What are they doing on poles? They're just being birds. They're not charging. They don't need to charge because they're birds. Or a bunch of students were wearing maroon on the day Charlie Kirk died. Okay. And this doesn't make much sense. So, like, why is this happening? I don't know, probably a reasonable explanation as to why. So there's that. We'll keep that open because I feel like it's gonna come up again. That was fun though. That was refreshing. Okay.
14 years ago, UFO experiencer Chris Bledsoe was given this information by the lady, his extraterrestrial contact, about April 2026. Let's have a listen.
Funny. What she said was there will be, when we see Israel and Iran doing their thing and the orbs begin to appear, from that point forward, they're going to begin to awaken the people. And there was no stopping it. And if we went to war, they would stop.
So you believe from what you've been told, which obviously you can't know for sure, you're only being told this, but you believe from what you're being told that the entities, the beings are going to intervene to stop us from killing ourselves.
They did that during November on television.
And disclosure of the fact of a non-human intelligence.
It'll come next year.
You believe next year?
I'm sure. I feel sure. I think the government has got to. They have no choice. Because my book clearly states what Chris said. It is the lady explained to me that in April of 26, there would be an alignment where this star, which is a blue star, of Regulus, appears on the horizon in front of the Sphinx, and it would be red.
And you know what? This is right. That's what she said. She's spoken to astronomers. This is the phenomenal thing about this.
Yeah, and she said it'll be red. And when that happens, it would mark a shift into a new knowledge, not an apocalypse. That's what she told me. It doesn't mean Jesus is coming back. There's a new knowledge that's coming. What is that? Is it under the pyramids they've discovered something? Is it the Hall of Records? Is it...
So that interview was from about 10 months ago. It's now April 2026. And that blue star Regulus will appear red in front of the Sphinx next Sunday, Easter Sunday, 2026. It's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. 14 years ago.
I wonder how many copies of his book he sold. Because I feel like this is just a resurgence. I'm just gonna there's a ball of light behind me telling me that this clip is resurfacing so that man can sell books. I don't know. I feel like it's true in my soul. April 2026. I don't know why the caps locks was up. I'm not opening any of these. I'll tell you that. Okay, so just to get Occam's razor, the most logical thing, the most reasonable, simpler answer is that. Is it simply a conflict in the Middle East that goes, I'm 37, soon to be 37. These types of conflicts in the Middle East have been happening since I was born. This is not new. This is just a reason for some people to make money, in my opinion. Every single time Israel gets involved with something, I notice that people start to make claims either about the apocalypse, the end of the world in a biblical sense, or that it's going to be the second coming of Jesus, or it's Armageddon. I said that, the Rapture, one or the other. Or now suddenly this is one new one of, I guess he said aliens were coming. He didn't even really make clear what was gonna happen. There's just something is gonna happen, which is incredibly vague. Let's see. Regulus, Star, and the Sphinx. Pro 26. Oh, my say. Let's try that one. Because nothing is coming up. What's happening is nothing is coming up that is, I just from a quick glance, to me, a legitimate source. It's like Facebook, it's Reddit, it's, you know, some pretty skeevy looking websites. Okay, it's a star, it's gonna align, stars align all the time. So we can't really find any proof that's gonna happen. Because if it was true, like the Australian guy said, could be from New Zealand, so I do apologize. They've spoken to astrologers. Way. I have a feeling, if I were to hazard a guess, I feel like he is just having these things resurface so we can sell more books. That is my opinion. But, okay. At least it's not anti-Semitic.
What's a conspiracy theory you shot-puttingly believe in?
Milton Keynes is built purely for the Freemasons.
Okay.
I just want to say, I don't believe this, but this is crazy. Actually crazy. The conspiracy theory goes that Milton Keynes is built purely for Freemasons to take part in weird cults and to leave a trail of breadcrumbs for conspiracy theorists. So Milton Keynes has a perfect solstice line that goes through the middle of the city centre, and the road it goes down is Midsummer's Drive. Directly parallel to the left and to the right of Midsummer's Drive, you have a road called Child's Way and Portway Road, meaning Midsummer murder, child sacrifice to open the portal.
What the fuck?
The sun will shine down the solstice line, which is Midsummer's Drive, and then it will shine down the Eye of Ra, and it's so weird because the roof of the shopping centre is built exactly like the Eye of the Ra. This is so weird, but it gets weirder. So in the UK, we have a solstice-born prince, which is Prince William, and he was born on a lunar eclipse. Prince William was in Milton Keynes for 3 days in a row for Revelations 12, which is the 23rd of September 2017. And I didn't even know these places exist in Milton Keynes because it's so weird. He took part in a ritual in Milton Keynes on this thing called the Black Rose. This huge circle on the floor which resembles a black rose, which people say is a symbol of Freemasonry. But it's so weird. And then just to top it off, directly parallel to the Eye of Ra, to the Black Rose, and on the summer solstice, they've built a pyramid. And they've built this huge pyramid. And there are also other sculptures around Milton Keynes. And if you connect the dots to each one, it's the Freemasonry logo.
Oh no.
It's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
I've got pictures of all of it. I'm going to put it in.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Jesus Christ.
so weird.
What's a conspiracy?
Okay. So that, at the end, that wasn't the Freemason logo. That was just random stuff connected to each other, but that's alright. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know where to start. What's true, Barry? Don't tell me you believe that Milton Keynes is made for Freemasons. Okay. Let's see. Midsummer Boulevard, Milton Keynes. Oh, look. It knows. Midsummer Place. Let's look at the map. So apparently there's Child's Way, is what he said. What's the name of this street? So, I'm not seeing Child's Way, as he said. So, unless they've updated the map, or I'm looking in the wrong place, which I might be. So that's not true. And also, Midsummer is just the middle of the summer. I don't think the druids who used to practice human sacrifice, it would be in extreme times where you'd sacrifice a child, because they'd usually sacrifice prisoners of war, somebody old. So there's that. And you could sacrifice children anytime, really. You don't necessarily have to wait for the midsummer. So I'm not seeing Child's Way. So that's fun. So cool. I'm not gonna make jokes because I am doing my best to not encourage people to believe some of these things. And I think if I make a joke because I think it's funny, someone will take it the wrong way. And who knows? Anyway. So there's no Child Way. I'm gonna search Milton Keynes statues. Oh, TripAdvisor. Oh. Statue of Alan Turing. Good for him. Like, that is a bit weird. There's a man jumping around in a roundabout. Like, okay, but that's got nothing to do with Freemasons. Polish code breakers. Outstations workers. So I don't know where these monuments that he had in his video were. Well, that's just according to TripAdvisor. So we shall see. Gonna put modern art statues. I probably spelled that wrong. No. I'm gonna look at images to see what comes up. Okay, like these definitely weren't the ones in his video. That, I think that one was. Like, that's weird. But that's just modern art. There's nothing, at least to as a quick look, this says is identity with Freemasonry. But okay. Let's find out more about this though. Does it have any more information about these statues, or is it just a picture of the statues? I put a sculpture. This is the Parks Trust. So there's a bit of information about some of the artwork when it loads. So some of these are just not loading. Oh, so there's a ley line that runs through the center of Milton Keynes. So that, yeah, that's where I think they also confuse in that. Here we go. With something else. Like, that's weird. But it's Greek mythology, so it's gonna be weird. There's a labyrinth. That's the pyramid. It's been there for ages. Yeah, the circle that aligns with the Midsummer line, which makes sense. Now that I know that they have this there, because the Druids who built the stone circles used the sun to help build it, and it would have been used by the Druids for Midsummer for sacrificing probably a goat or a sheep, which is what they did. I'm not seeing anything about the ones that were in that video, though. A lot of the things he said were just coincidences. Like, okay, the prince was born on, I think it was Midsummer. Okay. Like, okay. That is just a coincidence. Which is easy enough to. If you want to say something in a conspiratorial way, you easily can. And no. Let's have this one. Conspiracy theories people actually secretly believe. And then we're gonna call it a day. Because I got a headache. Okay, this is just screenshots of... It's just screenshots of Twitter. Okay, let's try this one. It's just the conspiratorial music. Okay. Soul Trap, I'm not getting into that. No, my anxiety can't handle that.
Educational purposes only. First conspiracy is Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez were together. We know this, okay? They were given a choice to either sacrifice her or their baby. And they chose her, which is why she doesn't really look like
we've heard this
how
before.
she used to look.
Right.
And they also connect it to the files and cloning or some type of mask. And can you guess the person who's playing her, allegedly?
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis. Okay.
Yeah.
The baby that lived was allegedly given to the Kardashians, to Kourtney Kardashian, because her one son, Rain, looks an awful lot like a young Justin Bieber. So at one of the VMAs, I think, where he did his performance, and he was like crying out, and like there are lyrics to the song that talks about how she crossed the bridge that he can't follow, something like that, and he's just like weeping. And then going off of that is that Hailey Bieber's dad, Stephen Baldwin, allegedly bought Bieber from Diddy, and she is now his handler. Doesn't that make sense?
That does.
Okay, so set this one aside, okay?
Okay.
Do you remember the
this is a
Miami
repeat
incident?
of the one we heard before. We'll try one more.
Things I believe to be true as a Russian woman who lives in the United States, but I unfortunately cannot prove it. Number one is, for some reason, every system on Earth needs us humans to operate out of fear and feeling guilty for something. It seems that the system we're in, every single aspect of the system, which is food industry, school, university, government, everything is teaching us to emit fear, just like the universe or Earth or creatures that are operating our Earth are feeding off our fear. How do I explain this to myself? Number one, we all know the law of attraction and manifestation. In order to manifest something, you need to be in this specific condition. You need to believe and live life just like you already have it. Not dream about something, not trying to convince yourself in something. It is a specific state of mind when you start emitting that you already live the life you want, right? So that's manifestation. Two holes experiment is confirming my theory. Whatever our brains emit is shaping reality. The strongest emission is fear and negative emotions. And if we are as a creatures benefiting from manifesting good things for us, there must be something that profits and benefits from our misery. Number two, I believe that food industry is targeting our bodies and wants to use our bodies for their own profit. Truly believe that humans don't need to eat as much. This is how much my personal daily norm looks like. If you will start weighing everything you eat every single day in order to look and feel good, you will see how small amount it is. And then you look at the system, it's designed for you to eat something every single where. Oh, movies, popcorn, or you go somewhere, you have to order this. Your body is just a money machine for someone else. Next, I believe that aging, the way we know it right now, is also part of the system. Truly believe that some topics like parasites, for some reason in Russia, your child will be not taken into the school if you don't show parasite panel of your child. For some reason, Americans don't believe in parasites. You guys see lice, right? Lice is just like parasites. So why do you laugh when I talk about parasites and you tell me that I'm paranoid and you don't laugh about lice? I also believe that aging is part of the system and program that we can reprogram. Why in America it is not common to go and test your blood and see how your body is doing unless doctor orders it. Doctor doesn't live in your body. And why the system doesn't want you to know anything about your own body. A lot of people are reaching out to me about ferritin and they're asking what they have to take, and I cannot advise you what you have to take because I'm not a doctor, but you have to be able to read your blood tests. You are the owner and operator of your body. Let me know in comments if you would like me to make a video about how I read my own blood work, what I can see there, and how I correct my supplements and routines based on these results. Things I believe to be
Two things first. First of all, don't, when you put makeup on, if you're gonna put the foundation or whatever it is directly onto your skin, don't let the bottle touch your skin, because the bacteria from your skin gets in the bottle. It's very bad for your skin. Just that. Then secondly, a lot of the conspiracy theories that she's believes in is just capitalism. Yeah, so food companies want you to buy things as capitalism, so that's why. So that's that. I'm not gonna dip into that. What was the first thing she said?
be true as a Russian woman who lives in the United States, but I unfortunately cannot prove it. Number one is, for some reason, every system on Earth needs us humans to operate out of fear and feeling guilty for something. It seems that the system we're in, every single aspect.
Yes, capitalism. That's Protestant capitalism. The Protestant work ethic is very real. And I'm not fact checking that, because how do you fact check? The system that we live in is based on fear. And you know what? If she's encouraging people to go to the doctor, I don't see a problem with that. She's probably selling supplements. It is nice to hear someone encourage you to see a doctor and not just to give medical advice randomly, because she isn't a doctor. That's nice to see. Those weren't really conspiracy theories, to be honest. They may be to her, but I'm not discounting that. It was quite refreshing, actually. And that's, yes, we're gonna look at April Fools to see if we can find a fun one. Yeah, we're gonna look at the ones from 2025 and see what the funny ones were. And then we're gonna call it a day. Dr. Pepper Tic Tacs, that's silly. And that's absolutely AI. I'm not sure if this page has created the AI images, but yeah. I think that's true. A Nutella B&B. I'd go to a Nutella B&B. Everything's just free Nutella, yes. Salted butter Pringles, that's just gross. Good for you if you like that, but gross. These are definitely American. Chocolate flavored bread. Bro, that's silly. I don't know what Olipop is. Because the whole point is that it crunches. Okay, I get it. It's definitely American. Let me see if I can find other ones. Best April 1st pranks. And it is a prank. Yeah, I fell for it. Oh, that's silly. That's fun. That's anti-Semitic. That there. So that's fun. Is this today? No, it's from last year. I've seen some, like, quite fun. People have got to go over the top. I've noticed, like, some of the local businesses where I live have had to make sure that they are being really, really over the top, because no one nowadays will believe that it is an April Fool's, or people don't stop to look at what the date is and take a minute. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody pretending to be pregnant, which is nice. Or pretending to be dead, which is nice to see. So on April Fool's Day, today and next year, think before you share something. More often than you usually would. Stop and go, is this rage bait because it's April Fool's Day? Because the internet is an insane place, and it's even more insane on April Fool's Day. Also, don't be anti-Semitic. I think I said that last time. Say it again. Anti-Semitism is not cool. I will be back next week. We're going to focus on logical fallacies. We're going to focus on strawman fallacies. Thank you very much, Barry, for being probably the only person watching. Yet again. I hope you learned something. I hope you don't have a headache like I do. I'm going to be making more infographics for the logical fallacies as I have time. And Friday, I will try my best to stream some Baldur's Gate, which will be real fun. So I'll see you all then. We will leave with guidance from the Bob's Burgers Burger guidance. Cleanse the room of all the negative conspiracy theory.
I'm excited.
Perfect. Bye.